Hello fellow World of Warcraft fans, welcome back to a new video on my channel. Today I'll be giving you tips for the start of the second season of World of Warcraft Midnight. You can actually get some things through a few quests and so on. You can get an items through this, which will ultimately give you a 305 HC item. And this can even be upgraded further in the end. You see, these items have a total of 6 ranks. How you get all of this and what you have to do for it, I'll show you in this video. If you like, I would really appreciate it if you leave a like and subscribe. Blow a little kiss too if you want. And yeah, with that, let's start the video. Let's go. First you need to go here. This is Mr. Astalor Bloodswine. You can find Bloodsworn at coordinates 5665. And he has, as you can see, several quests available for you. Among other things, he wants you to hunt Yacht Januar, the Fangtooth, Kurzak, the Twisted Kadani, the Claw, or Batani, the Scaled, in Nightmare mode in the Midnight Zones. This is a new quest that's available now. I would recommend picking it up as well because you simply get these Remnants of Agony for it. The other one is a weekly quest, and that's the one you ultimately want. Complete Nightmare Bounty Hunt. There are various rewards for that. Among other things, 20 HC crests, 500 Void Light Slurry, 50 Remnants of Agony, and a Flute of the Scalebound Herald. And this flute, even though it might not seem like it, is your key. Your flute. To a 305 item. So, you accept the crest, and then you can, or rather you should, complete 3 Nightmare Bounty Hunts. What you need to know here though is that your map is empty at first. To change that, you need to complete this thing here, the hunt, a slithering thread. I just checked again, this regular quest that you see there is actually only there to give you a basic idea of how hunts work. So that's exactly the same quest as the one at the start of the first season. I still have it available here because I played it back then on my Boomkin. So if you haven't used this feature at all yet, yeah, then you can definitely complete it. It might make sense. But yeah, my god, no big deal. It works like this too, let's put it that way. They are not that important that you wouldn't understand the principle if you haven't completed the quest. But anyway, what you have to do next is this hunt a slithering thread. You actually have to complete this quest to get access to the new hunts. And in this case, I would recommend the easiest way is back here in the area between Keltalas and Sulaman. So always say here Zangenwald Sulaman. You go there, fly into this cave, and one of these bosses should appear soon, which we can then take down. One important thing to note here, usually when you do this quest here, you can complete it with the Nightmare Hunts. You can't do these things in a group. So for this purpose, you absolutely have to be solo. Otherwise, this whole thing won't work. Defeat Batani the Scaled or Kardani the Claw in Nightmare mode. Shouldn't there actually be some kind of marker here? Shouldn't there be some kind of button here that I can click? Because somehow nothing is happening here right now. Okay, it makes absolutely no sense at all. Because normally I had already unlocked bounty hunts here on the shaman. You just had to turn in that regular quest I just did. So that I had the option to select the target here now, which mob I should look for. So it's really absolutely ridiculous if you have the same problem. Like I said, I locked them on the shaman in the first season. Just check it again. Then you should have the option to hunt Batani here, for example. So I assume he won't be standing in the cave right away, but we have to hunt him in Sulaman first. But if you have the same problem, then apparently you have to finish the regular quest first and then do the rest of the stuff here. Alright, so if you've done that and you have access to the nightmare hunts, then you need to do 3 of them. And then, as I said, you'll get this Flute of the Scalebound Heroid here. This item was actually already available in the first season, it just had a different name. And it's pretty simple. You go into a delve with it, ideally at level 8, because level 8 drops the highest gear. Because if you use this thing there, it will drop 305, which you can then upgrade up to, I think, 322. So you go into the delve and play until you reach the point where the revive stone appears. So, this stone, where if you die, you get revived at the end. When you do that, you can use this flute at the stone. After that, the so-called Nemesis mob spawns. So that's this Asratek. He will then come rushing towards you there. You have to get him down to 50%. You can't defeat him at that point. You can only bring him down to 50 at most. Then he disappears. It's important that you loot the mob at this point because there's another treasure map inside. In theory, they could have just made it so you get this treasure map after completing the quest here. But that would actually be too easy. And once you've activated this treasure map, you'll get an extra chest in the future when you complete a delve, which will contain a stronger item. In theory, you can use this on all difficulty levels, so from 3 to 8. But as I said before, this treasure map gives the best loot at +8. And you can only get 1 per week in total. That's why. If you now say, okay, I don't have enough gear yet to complete a delve at +8, I would still advise you farm until you can do it, because otherwise it would be pretty wasted. So you don't want to pull out a 292 item or something like that. Thanks for kicking me right in there. Fantastic. That's not worth it, so do it this way. We've now also solved the puzzle here with the delves and the treasure hunt quest. Fantastic. And once you've done all that, you can look forward to a 305 item. What's also important to mention, this is the loot pool from delves. So, in other words, mythic trinkets, weapons or anything like that are not included. But there are also 1, 2 or 3 items from delves that are quite nice. That's why it's definitely worth doing the quest. And especially at this point in the season, it's really a no-brainer. If you don't feel like it, you can theoretically also get these treasure maps from delves. However, that's a random drop, and it's also pretty rare. With this bounty hunt quest, you're guaranteed to get it. All in all, I can't say that you actually save time, and you can see it here now. Finishing this bounty hunt for Bartani didn't even take 5 minutes, so it's super fast. You just have to do 3 of those and boom, you're done. With that, thank you so much for watching. I wish you lots and lots of fun. See you in the next video. Have a great time and take care.